We also have talked, even on this channel, about Angel's very dramatic response to that. Angel Reese started with, "I'm heartbroken. I'm literally lost for words, knowing what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life. She was the only person," which is interesting since she's been coached before.
It's amazing that Angel Reese still stirs up controversy with her audacious and provocative remarks, despite being sued for steroid accusations. This time, she revealed a startling revelation about her former instructor, Teresa Weatherspoon. Reese has charged Weatherspoon with treachery, alleging that the coach was a major factor in her demise. Many people are shocked by Reese's public remarks, in which she implies that her difficulties at work are due to Weatherspoon, who was once a reliable source for her. According to Reese, Teresa would unquestionably be the victim of treachery at this moment if it had a face.
And unfortunately, it seems like, according to some new reports, that relationship cost her her job.
However, Angel Reese is causing controversy by implying that there is more to the story. Reese claims that the suspension wasn't just about performance issues, hinting at deeper, undisclosed reasons behind the decision, which has left fans and analysts doubting the official narrative. Sky officials have publicly stated that Teresa Weatherspoon was suspended because of the team's poor performance.
Point being, she disrespected the official. That was the official response to this.
Why is Angel Reese making such audacious assertions? Are her charges true, or is this just another dramatic development in the story that is still being told about her? Since Reese's inflammatory remarks, the situation has gotten more convoluted. So let's stand back and dissect everything. The internet has been ablaze with conjecture and debate, with fans and experts alike trying to make sense of the turmoil. Her words have sparked extensive discussion, adding fuel to an already controversial narrative. Whether there's truth to her allegations or not, one thing is sure: Angel Reese is the buzz of the town.
Now you have a rivalry here. Angel Reese wants to be Draymond Green, but there's nothing about her game that's really interesting that is going to translate to people who may not watch the WNBA, may not care about basketball.
After months of whispers about her performance, the truth has finally come to light, and Angel Reese, once heralded as the WNBA's future star, is now entangled in a controversy so scandalous that it is rocking the league to its foundation. The gap between expectations and reality widened, and Reese reportedly sought a shortcut that would ultimately lead to her downfall by using performance-enhancing drugs in a desperate attempt to stay relevant. She was under tremendous pressure to live up to her hype, and it appears that she turned to steroids in an attempt to keep up with the league's top talent.
Angel Reese is the villain, Caitlin Clark is the hero, and Angel Reese continued to play into it last night by getting ejected, and it's almost like it's all scripted. This is perfect for the WNBA. She's all the talk. She's the one standing up there in front of reporters saying, I need all of you guys to realize there's two of us that changed the game of women's basketball, and it's not just Caitlin Clark. I was a part of that 2 years ago in the national championship game, and it's going to continue to be that way from here on out. I kind of love it. I don't agree with her. It's way more Caitlin Clark than it is Angel Reese.
Then the bombshell struck out of nowhere. The entire WNBA community was shocked when Angel Reese tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Players and analysts alike couldn't believe it, and the Chicago Sky, her team at the time, moved quickly to suspend her immediately and begin an investigation. But let's be honest, this wasn't shocking. The signs were there, and many had already surmised that something wasn't right from the rumors swirling around her inconsistent performance. We all saw this coming. It was only a matter of time until the truth was revealed, and now the fallout is inevitable.
Because anybody who's watching could see that what was going on with Chicago and with Angel Reese and the double-double streak and all that stuff wasn't good for Angel. Was it good for the rest of the team? Was it good for the whole organization?
The instant Angel Reese's use of performance-enhancing substances was confirmed by the test results. In a difficult fourth quarter, her career fell more quickly than her shooting percentage. Her public image, which had already been damaged by previous scandals, was totally destroyed, and the shock rippled through the league, leaving players and analysts stunned and unable to comprehend how a once promising star could fall so far so quickly. Reese's collapse wasn't just a personal setback. It sent shockwaves across the WNBA, leaving many in shock.
WNBA has been around a couple of decades, and people didn't notice the game. They're noticing it now. Well, that's because of Caitlin Clark, not Angel Reese.
The substances that Angel Reese allegedly used weren't just common supplements or over-the-counter vitamins. According to reports, she also used eoarthropo, a potent performance-enhancing drug that increases red blood cell production and is frequently used by cyclists and marathon runners to reach superhuman endurance levels. Reese reportedly experimented with anabolic steroids, which are well known for their quick muscle growth, but also for their detrimental effects. The use of these substances not only raises concerns about an athlete's integrity, but also frequently casts a shadow over their entire body of work, casting doubt on everything they've accomplished in their professional career. These substances are strictly prohibited under WNBA regulations, and the league takes such violations very seriously. When athletes are caught using banned performance enhancers, they typically face significant consequences, including lengthy suspensions, public humiliation, and a permanent stain on their career.
Addiction is real. The addiction to attention is real.
The overwhelming pressure to stay relevant, not only to play in the WNBA, but to really distinguish out in a league currently dominated by up-and-coming talent like Caitlin Clark, is what, in a nutshell, drove Angel Reese in this direction. In her rookie season, Clark practically wrote the WNBA record book. She averaged 20 points per game, broke assist records, and made everyone else seem to be moving in slow motion by comparison. As Clark's star grew, Reese found it harder to keep up, and the gap between their performances widened. With Clark attracting all the attention, Reese felt more pressure to compete, but instead of doing so, she tried to stay in the spotlight. Sadly, it seems that she made a desperate choice that would ultimately ruin her career.
Honestly, I think the biggest thing she should focus on is just finishing around the rim. That is something where maybe her rebounds will be halved. However, she will still make such an impact.
Angel Reese's statistics, Caitlin Clark's explosive supernova-level performances were far superior to Reese's solid 11.5 points and 9.2 rebounds per game. It was like trying to compete in a foot race against a jet engine, and to be honest, many of Reese's rebounds were just her catching her own missed shots, which hardly indicates dominance. Nevertheless, the pressure on Reese was undeniable, and that kind of extreme pressure can force athletes to make decisions they never would have imagined. The circulating rumors regarding Reese's use of steroids depict a depressing image of a player who chose a quick fix to stay relevant rather than putting in the effort and grind required to compete at the highest level because he was unable to keep up with Clark's rising star. According to reports, Reese used performance-enhancing substances in the hopes that they would help her catch up to the league's best players. Sadly, they didn't improve her performance. Rather, they caused her to be implicated in a doping scandal, which resulted in her suspension and eventual termination from the Chicago Sky. Her attempt to take the easy route backfired spectacularly, turning what could have been a bright future into a contentious one.
Angel Reese said, hey, she'll play the villain role. Kennedy Carter certainly embraces that as well. Chad, right after we're discussing Angel Reese and the villain in the storyline and the plot that brings eyeballs to the product of Caitlin Clark on tour across the WNBA. She's ejected for the first time in her WNBA career.
Angel Reese didn't need to use performance-enhancing drugs because she was talented when she first joined the WNBA. Many thought that her rivalry with Caitlin Clark would lead to one of the most thrilling plot lines in women's basketball, but instead, Reese became the focus of one of the league's biggest doping scandals, leaving fans and analysts wondering if she was ever clean or if this scandal tainted her entire career. What once seemed like a promising career has now turned into a warning story. Her precipitous decline from grace leaves everyone perplexed as to how it all went so wrong. The possible competition with Clark is currently surrounded by uncertainty and controversy.
Would Angel Reese prematurely end her rookie season to spare herself the embarrassment of losing Rookie of the Year to Caitlin Clark?
The Chicago Sky moved quickly to suspend Angel Reese as soon as the investigation into her alleged drug use started. Once the positive test results confirmed the rumors, it was game over for Reese. The WNBA, which had been working hard to grow its fan base and build its brand, is now in a public relations nightmare where one of its most well-known players is the face of a cheating scandal. The league is left scrambling to contain the fallout. This controversy threatens to overshadow the progress the WNBA has made, so the league must now concentrate on damage control to preserve its reputation.
And Angel Reese is stirring this up, so while she doesn't, Angel Reese always comes off as the victim.
We cannot ignore Angel Reese must have suffered psychologically from this. Reports suggest that she was under a lot of stress, particularly from being constantly compared to Caitlin Clark, who was smashing records, landing sponsorship agreements, and winning her team a postseason berth. Reese was frustrated at being left behind by a squad that was not even close to winning, and her unhappiness was exacerbated by criticism and the unrelenting media. Spotlight probably forced Reese to make bad choices. Regrettably, she took the worst course of action in an attempt to be current and relevant, which eventually hurt her reputation and career.
If you're a big star, you should not need to beg for attention. If you're a big star, you should not have to exploit yourself.
It is crucial to refrain from expressing pity for Angel Reese until later. In addition to harming her career, the fallout from her steroid scandal sent the entire Chicago Sky organization into disarray, resembling an unanticipated drama playing out behind the scenes. The scandal not only damaged Reese, but also tore apart the locker room, leaving her teammates angry and their trust completely destroyed. The ripple effect was extensive, upsetting team dynamics and creating internal conflict. What began as a personal dispute swiftly turned into a significant problem for the entire team, undermining any hopes of cohesion or success.
Angel Reese needs Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark does not need Angel Reese.
Angel Reese's decision to use illegal substances not only violated the rules, but also damaged the trust she had developed with her team. Leadership is about integrity, and when that trust is destroyed, so is the team spirit. With the season already going south, Reese's actions dealt the final blow, turning what was once a struggling team into one in total chaos as their star player scandal ended any chance of recovery and left the locker room in chaos.
She's pissed off because they're not just like, it's not just about one player, it's about me too. And it's like, wait, time out. Nobody, I haven't even seen it. This is that.
Let's not ignore the shocking plot twist involving Chicago Sky's head coach, Teresa Weatherspoon. In a turn of events straight out of a sports drama, rumors started to circulate that Weatherspoon may have been involved in the entire steroid scandal. These rumors suggest that her involvement in the situation goes deeper than anyone initially thought, adding another layer of complexity to an already chaotic story. What was once thought to be just a player's controversy now seems to have entangled the coaching staff as well, raising questions about how far the problem actually goes.
Angel Reese and her coach, former coach, I should say, Teresa Weatherspoon. We had all heard a few weeks ago that the Chicago Sky said goodbye to Teresa Weatherspoon, saying that it was time to, quote, make a change.
According to reports, the coach who was meant to lead the team may have led Angel Reese straight into trouble in an effort to improve the team's abysmal 13-27 record. With the season slipping away, Teresa Weatherspoon reportedly thought, why not give Reese a boost to improve her performance? This type of rumor makes you wonder if you've entered a parallel universe where the coach is giving you bad advice rather than strategic game plans. What ought to have been a season devoted to making things better turned into a story of poor choices and conflict.
Angel Reese, Chicago Sky, had major culture issue under fired head coach. That, of course, is Teresa Weatherspoon. First-year coach criticized for tailoring game plan to benefit Reese. And again, many of us could see it.
Weatherspoon had only been with the Chicago Sky for one season, but things quickly fell apart. According to insiders, she became so frustrated with the team's awful record and mounting management pressure that she allegedly encouraged Angel Reese to use performance-enhancing drugs, knowing full well the risks involved. What had begun as a season of promise swiftly devolved into a desperate attempt to salvage the team's performance, with Weatherspoon allegedly making decisions that would cause scandal rather than success.
And that it may have led to her demise, which was reported from Annie Costabile. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. She's with the Chicago Sun-Times, and she recently reported that Weatherspoon was tailoring the Sky's game around one or two players led to some serious dysfunction inside the locker room. Yeah.